Oh, why didn't you just say hi before me? Why were you waiting for me?
Because you always go first. So I was like, hey, you're on.
Man, you gotta improv. Like you have to like improvise.
I like consistency, you know.
Yeah, you should take some improv classes. It'll throw you off a little bit. You'll have to spontaneously do things
I
in the
get
moment.
enough fucking thrown off shit all the time. It's like,
Oh, that's why you like the structure.
just give me 1 hour of structure.
Hello, it's Aaliyah.
And Joe.
And we are Keanvenient Truth. So I'm just gonna like jump into it. So right before we logged on, I was talking about how so I have to explain
Spit it
this
out
whole
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're evolving, right? Constantly, right? Constantly
Like, hold on,
changing,
like just
evolving,
humans in general?
yeah, right?
Okay.
Like everything changes. Our emotional, mental, physical, right? Everything is evolving and changing, and that's just the older we get, right?
All the time.
All the time, right? Because there's at all these different life stages, right? We have lots of different life stages, like each time we hit a new year of age, it's like a new life stage, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand that and see it now more than ever because now that we have a kid. So
because earlier on, it's like stages of like every few months. It's
right.
like something
It's like
new.
all these stages. Right. Exactly.
We've just gotten used to. That's what I'm talking about. Being like used to like improvising. Shit happens every day with a 3-year-old.
It's so crazy. So right. So it's like all the time. It's like a new stage, and like sometimes it happens just like by the week, and you're like, wow. But when we're already older and we're just like living in our lives, just kind of doing it, I feel like we don't like realize that.
Hold on,
Like,
when we're adults.
We're older adults. Yeah. And you're just like, like not that you're not evolving, you're still evolving, but when you're just like living life at an older age because you've been living life for so long, you get just sucked up in life and just doing what you do. You don't really like realize that, oh wait, like this could be a new just stage that I'm going through in life. And because of that, there are things that will automatically just be different.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like I'm referring to like I'm talking about that solely based on like just like all of like my medical issues, right? So if you have medical issues out there, I feel like this is really important to also like consider because with my colitis, like when I was in my 20s, it was different from when I was in my 30s, and it's even different today now in my 40s. And it took me a little bit to even really realize that. And it wasn't until, I've known that, but it really wasn't until literally like a few months ago, whatever, just not even that, like a month ago or so, where my colitis, just everything's been shifting. And I like, started like really being strict with like all the gluten and the dairy, like really strict, like consistently for like.
So you have seen a difference in the past? Because I remember we talked like a week or so ago, and you were like, "Well, I don't see anything."
So, well, let me finish. So, like, so I've cut everything out, done all that, made all these changes, and I realized that the outcome, like how the outcome last time when I did this felt way more relieving, a lot faster, and way more intense with the relief than it does now at 41. Like now, like right now, like I'm still like I have this pain that's like right here, so I know that it's like my like inflammation. And then just like I like this is TMI, but if you have ulcerative colitis, you totally know and understand that anything with your lower intestine, colon, like anything like that has to do with like also being able to go to the fucking bathroom. But like that's how I can tell like how my bathroom goes are, like so there's certain things I look for that can lead me to believe, oh, this is not okay. I must be inflamed. So when I did all this stuff at 37, even that wasn't even that long ago, at 37, it literally
before you had a kid too.
Before I had a kid, it so drastically felt different. I mean, like drastically.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I mean, it's bad. I guess it's a little bit better, but it's still it's not like great, but it is. But there's certain pieces that got, like it's really just like,
And it's all based on different people too. Like, ironically, the opposite is for me. My stomach issues used to be way worse when I was younger, but then I started like really. I was like, I changed a lot of lifestyle stuff a long time ago in my late 20s and early 30s.
right, yeah,
And then now I'm reaping the benefits of that, because now and actually, you do way better when you have all these like probiotics and all this other stuff. And now I've cut off all the probiotics actually, and I feel amazing. I think my body has too much probiotics or something, and I was
interesting.
overloading it, and I was like bloaty and gassy. I just cut it out. I'm like regular with my shits and like freaking feel great. I have more energy than ever. It's really weird. But
Huh.
but yeah, no, I mean, and getting back to like the phases and stuff. I mean, not to like, we could hang out on the stomach and shitting stuff if you
No,
want to
no,
keep
it really
talking.
wasn't about that.
Oh,
It's
okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it actually isn't about that. It's about
But
that was
the
just an
stages,
example. It's
yeah, yeah,
about the stages and how we don't connect sometimes. Like
yeah.
the minute something happens to us or we experience something off or different in ourselves, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, we're automatically so quick to be like, okay, like
Mm.
where's well, not everyone, but like what's going on? Like there's something wrong or something, right? When maybe we just need to be like, okay,
Yeah,
you
I
know what,
mean,
before I like really like, go to the doctor or go this or go that, let me just like take a second and just look at my life and see everything in terms of what has changed.
yeah.
My life,
Just even over the past year or whatever, or
right,
what you're
like
doing on a regular basis
yeah,
with
everything that
diet, mentally, like, who you're hanging out with, all these things. Well,
just
this is why
everything.
like meditation and just like even just regular talk therapy and stuff is like, it's bringing you into the present to like make you reflect
Yeah.
on like what is presently going on, what could be happening in the future, what happened in the past. Even like journaling and stuff like that can help. Um, but like this is why I love numerology, because it actually like all these phases that you're talking about are already predetermined, written in the stars
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
right?
Totally.
And if you know that they're coming, whether you're into astrology or whatever, it's very similar. But like this is like an energy, a universal energy. It's just in the air. It's everywhere, and every individual reacts to planetary energies and whatever
Mhm.
differently at different phases and whatever. And but anyways, if you know when it's coming, you can kind of mentally prepare for that, and then when it comes, you're not as reactive or whatever, and you're already preemptively like taking care of yourself in that situation, mentally or even physically and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I
And
enjoy
I don't
like
think that
that.
would be the case for everyone. Like, I feel like like the thing about the numerology, like, because I've always been like, okay, so basically it tells you exactly like, what your life is going to look like, and what kind of hurdles or whatever. I'm like, okay, so like, I think because I'm not at the place where you are with numerology, it's still new to me. I'm still trying to really have 100%
Mm.
faith in it.
Mm. I know
So for me, I still kind of like there's just a little bit that I'm still like, but I think if I did, I would totally.
like if you actually did a whole, a couple week program, kind of like therapy, like what I said with like Wes or whatever, you would slow, you would see it. You would see the benefits and like just the awareness of stuff. And you're actually
Well, I
starting,
would, but I feel like well, no, yeah, I would, yeah.
you're actually starting to connect the dots with the Healy, which I have on right now.
Oh, I
And
don't have
and
mine.
you're
Hold on.
utilizing, so we have this thing called the Healy. I have a whole other podcast based on that. It's called the Frequency Project with me and David Lawrence. And what Lalia is starting to utilize this in her therapy sessions with patients. And what it does is it analyzes your aura, and it gives you pretty accurate readings about the type of person you are and why why you're feeling certain feelings, maybe things that have happened in the past, and it's pretty specific.
It's very specific.
Like your father was abusive or whatever when you were younger, like
It's no,
things like
yeah,
that, you know.
it's like specific and
Yeah.
it's individualized. It's all different, but it's yeah.
So what we talked about on the podcast, which I believe is episode 17, Frequency Project, go check it out. We had Wes on, which is my numerologist, and we made the connection between numerology and the frequencies, which is the Healy, right? And what it is this universal just energy. It's like it's
Where will we
there.
go? What was the original thing we were talking about?
We're talking about oh, cycles in life and stages. Yes.
So what does this have? So connect me.
Awareness, self-awareness of like
Okay, so
where
the
you
Healy helps
are.
with like self-awareness
Yeah,
that
yeah,
can better obviously assist us in terms of identifying
right.
that
And
there's
really,
things.
and it's like if you take it from like this physical aspect of like maybe where you come from in like talk therapy and whatever, and this is, you know, in doctors, and this is the medicine that we know of today and whatever, then it's hard to see what I'm talking about. But if you take it from more of an open-minded and spiritual aspect, and just understand, and everybody knows this, but they don't know it. You know that there is energy. You know that people give off a quote unquote vibe,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a matter of just experience, though, just like everything else. Like the reason why I'm starting to, I'm not sure about the Healy for some reason.
You're skeptical about all this stuff.
No. I'm not sure. I didn't see or feel any difference with when I was using it. 'Cause you would ask me and I'd be like, I don't know, you know, like,
Well,
so
what
I don't,
programs were you running?
all different ones. I mean, depending on what they told me whenever I had to, but you know,
Hmm.
so that's why for me, I was kind of like, but it wasn't until I brought it to my work because I was like, you know what? It's frequencies, it's energy. Like, I do believe in that, you know? So because I know I believe in that, then I'm like, all right, let me give this a go and see how because the Healy is a lot deeper than just like the you know what it does on a surface level. It really like goes into a whole deeper place, you know.
I mean, if you were to get into numerology, you would understand that numerology does the exact same thing.
I guess that with the Healy, I just saw, especially in the sessions that I did, like an instant something that to me it was quick. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is amazing, you know? Now, now it's about the, you know, the person's implementation, you know, moving forward, right? But
Yeah.
like it was still pretty cool to see
Well,
how accurate and on point, and then the insight that my patients would get from us processing what the assessment said from the Healy were like, you know, I mean, just huge like moments of like, holy shit, you
right.
know?
It gives like it just spits out. It's this device that just like spits out this information, and it didn't like talk to you, or you didn't touch it, you didn't do anything, and it just like knows, right?
Well, you
Well,
did. I mean, it, you know,
yeah, but it's like
thumbprint, getting the
they
energy.
actually got rid of the thumbprint on the new one though. So
I know, but I like using the other one still because it's fun.
so what I'm trying to get at, and you got to let me talk because it's kind of a big story here, but I mean,
I know, but like,
you
but
don't
the
want to go
reason
down
why
that
I
rabbit
stopped was
hole. I
because
know.
you're gonna go so, and I don't want to lose track of what we're
We're
because you can
staying.
connect it a lot quicker than what you're gonna do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But
You really can't though.
I think that you can still say what you talk about the stages and not have to go into every detail of the Healy so that we lose track of what we're talking about.
You know, we're just talking. Podcast. We're fucking talking. It could go
Okay.
anywhere.
All right.
Could go
I'm
anywhere.
just saying. Go ahead.
I'm keeping it in the realm of stages in life,
Yeah.
right? What that boils down to, though, is you don't recognize, which is exactly what you're talking about before. You don't most people don't recognize that what stage they are in their lives because they are maybe not fully self-aware. Like a lot of people can be like, "Oh, I know how I think, I know how I am, I act like this around this person, that person, that." That's like so top level. Like you really, each individual really needs to understand themselves so they can understand when they're heading, like there's these
But a lot of
nuances.
people see, but because there are some people that actually think that they are already there.
Mhm.
Like, I can't tell you how many people walk into my office, they'll say something, and then I'll be like, okay, well, like, so, like, have you processed that? Right? Now, my definition of process could be very different from
Mhm.
their definition of process. So because I know that, I have to, once they say, yeah, I feel like I process, which they'll usually say,
Mm.
I always have to ask them at that point, what is your definition of process? Like, what did that look like?
Well, this
Because
is
a lot of
what,
times in
yeah.
life, people think that they did, and they have no idea that process is there's something so much,
This is why talk therapy has its limitations, right? It depends on who you're talking to, what
Well, no,
the
you just have to be
level of
specific. You just
understanding
have to be
is.
clear, and you
Like,
have to work with someone, not thinking that they already know because you know.
right. But this is where a Healy or numerology can come into play, right? You We've done this before, right?
Mm.
Like with people, with their family members and whatever. It's like I can say right off the rip, I can do somebody's reading, and I just met them that day, and I'll say, all right, this person is struggling because they have this challenge, that. You can determine that from talking to somebody for like 10 minutes or whatever, right? Usually have a good idea, but you don't really know until you get into the details and ask them, is this true? I mean, did your mother do whatever? Because those are common aspects, right? But
Yeah. So
hold on.
yeah.
So where the Healy or numerology come in play, and it skips all that shit because it's a device. It's just I'm picking numbers out of the air. I don't know you, and I just laid it on the line. I just said the thing that you will say in about 6 months to the person because of the process that it takes through talk therapy, and that's just the way that it goes, right? Now, obviously, somebody has to be prepared to hear this information, right? So they have to be willing to understand where this reading is going to go or the numerology thing is going to go, right? I mean, the Healy information, you can warn them that, hey, this could be some serious stuff, right?
Right, but the whole other aspect to this that's important is that you can go to someone and you can say, "Bam, boom, this is it.
Mhm.
This is da da da
Oh
da,"
yeah, there's
da,"
still a lot
right?
of work in play. That's where you come in.
But even with that information, if they don't know what to do with that
Right.
information, then the information doesn't fucking matter.
But what it does, what I'm saying is what it does is it like it's like it blows, it's a mind-blowing moment, which is an impactful moment, right? Where they're just like, I just met this guy 2 seconds ago, and he told me that my mother neglected me and blah, 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 right? In about 10 minutes. I don't even know how he fucking did
I
that.
mean,
I'd
I could
never
tell you
told him
that in
anything.
10 minutes too. If someone
Well,
came into my
without
office,
talking,
like,
without talking.
I'm just going to stare at the person
Yeah, well, this is what I'm talking about.
and just go,
The
okay,
Healy,
this is what happened.
yeah, the Healy does that. And numerology does that through a name and a birth date. And then you just shut up. The Healy does the same thing. So this is what I'm saying. There's the connection. But there is a very important part to what you're doing. You're dealing with the execution, right?
Well, I'm dealing with both because just because you
Well, yeah,
just because
obviously.
you drop the bomb, the person now also has to not only implement but process all the shit that you just told me that my brain can't even process half of it.
Hmm.
So it's going to take maybe what it can and put everything else
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
back until I mean it's like I mean
But imagine, and this is
the only mind-blowing effect I see of this is the fact that right, that a device can tell you all that
Mhm.
in the same time that a therapist can without that's the only shock factor that but nothing else to
Right.
me is any
But the combination, which is the hybrid, which is happening right now, you're literally doing it, right? You're at the forefront of this. Um, is like accelerating the process by combining the two.
yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
And this is what I've been excited about this for like 10 years. Like, and now it's like happening.
It's great. There are some people that I don't know, it's interesting because it's like I to me there are some people though on a like that I just wouldn't use that with.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that are like that they've got so many layers of shit going on that for them
it's
to
like
even like
severely
see through,
complex. Like it's just too
they would be in
complex.
denial maybe of some
Yeah, a
information that they
lot of
wouldn't
it
even
it
they
wouldn't
wouldn't,
even make sense.
or because they're so unself-aware, they wouldn't even acknowledge that the information is true about them. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they would
So
not.
yes, it has to be, and this is the same for going back to, like you said, you're running the Healy for like a month or so. It didn't really work for you, and
Well, I didn't
well,
feel like just but
right,
that doesn't mean that it's still it's not doing something that just has more long-term
right,
effects.
exactly,
That's how I
exactly.
thought. So
And then it's also like it depends on the programs that you're running as well. And then we talked about this the other day. Not you, not me and David, but like it if you're somebody who has some long-term ailment that they're just now starting to like work on or whatever, using the Healy is not going to like do anything. It's like helping the process if you're aware of it and you're doing all these external other things, but like it's not like a cure for cancer. Like, oh, I have
no,
cancer,
not
it's
at
going to
all.
like vibrate it out of me. No, it's not like that. It's basically it's more of a preventative holistic device. And if you once you get your body fully harmonized, although this guy Peter I was talking to, he actually says that his cousin had diabetes or whatever, and he ran some of the diabetic programs and stuff, and it lowered all his numbers, and his cousin was like sold on it like right away. Same thing with if your heart rate is very high and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, you can lower it with this.
I feel like we keep
We're
not
going.
connecting it to stages.
Okay.
No, but connect it. Where were you going with that?
It's all connect. This is my whole point of the awareness. This is my whole point of
I
the
know it's
self-aware.
all connected,
But this is it. That's it.
like that's it. All right,
That's it.
okay,
It's
that's it.
all connect. Like everybody thinks like it's not. Like, oh, you like where are you going with this? I'm like,
No,
well, it's the same thing as
I know
like
where you're
thinking
like.
about a stage in life, because if you're not self-aware of all these things when you're in your 20s, or of how you're in your 20s, how's my 30s going to look? How do I feel now? What's going on? Then you're not going to be aware of the future and continuing to not be
Yes,
aware.
we
So
understand that.
that's a self-awareness basically. And I'm saying how this device, the Healy and numerology, can help quickly get you to that place of self-awareness so you could be aware of the stages.
Bam. Wow. To that, like,
But if
bam,
I
quick,
could, but I
out,
could, but if
said
I
it.
just came in right the first minute and I just said, the Healy and numerology can accelerate the process to figuring out self-awareness, everybody would be like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is numerology? How does that work?
I
What's
understand
happening?
that. Yes.
So I need to go through the process of
Yes,
like
but you go
explaining
through
it.
too hard. That's what your other podcast is for.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested in this stuff, you got to go over to my
It's
other
not that
podcast
I'm
because
not
we go way
interested.
deep.
I am interested, but this is not that podcast. You and David could go on your long fucking hippie fucking
Oh my
rants,
god. See, this is the
fucking
reason. This is
philosophical
reason.
rants about all this and da 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 whatever, right? And go deep with that shit, man. Okay. And you could do it there. But here I'm like, okay, wait,
This is the
because
reason.
we both go off track.
Exactly what you're talking about is the exact reason why you get caught. You get all these new stages in life are like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. Oh my god, because it was exactly everything that you're saying. Because of it, this is hokey. Oh, I only believe it to a certain level. Well, that's the problem.
I never said it was hokey.
Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
I never said it was hokey.
It's something that you don't fully commit to. And that's the problem
Well,
with
because
not being self-aware
no,
enough
no,
to
no, no.
understand
The
the
only
stages.
reason why that I am though there, or I do feel like that about that, has nothing to do with my self-awareness, but it has everything to do with the fact that I go based on experience in life. And if I don't experience something that connects
Oh, well,
that
yeah, we
to
all know that.
actual
You're right.
fucking like truth for me, then I can't get with, like, I have to, just like life in general,
Yeah.
I have to experience it.
You're right.
The Healy, I experienced some of that in the sessions with my patient, and it was fucking amazing. Okay. So I experienced that. Numerology, I've experienced a little bit of it by reading about our relationship stuff whenever we, not like, okay, like, yes, but like, they haven't really connected so much in my life where it really fucking hits me in the
Well, it's
face.
because
So
you
for
haven't
me,
dove
it's
into
just
either
about,
of them. Well, I mean, the
it's
Healy you are.
it's just about experience,
Right.
like this is stuff that is just happening then if it's happening, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
No,
that means that at some point, because I am self-aware, I will be able to recognize
you're right.
that and then go, oh shit, this is fucking valid. So don't fucking come at me for my level of self-awareness.
Just, there's levels. There's levels. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But I'm very excited that you're using the Healy, especially in therapy, in your work, and I think it's really the beginning of a lot of new things. And I hope through that it'll help you bring you back to understanding numerology and wanting to get deeper into that stuff, because it's all the same. It's all pulls from the same pool of energy.
Or maybe it doesn't pull me so far into your whole entire place
that's
of
your
it.
always thing. You
Wait a
never
minute.
want to
No,
go
no,
too
no, no, no.
far. It's not my thing. It's not
Just
my whole
listen to
thing.
what I'm saying to you.
It's
My
not my
goodness.
whole thing.
I
It's
wasn't
not
saying
mine.
that. I wasn't saying that. Is that the point I'm trying to make is that you and I don't have to like the same things or be on the same exact page with things or be on the same wavelength with things. We don't have to do that. We're two different people and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So like in the event that, let's say, I just don't get there, that's also okay. But that doesn't mean that I don't take it seriously or that I'm not self-aware, that I don't fucking see things or that I can't connect things in life or anything like that. That I don't believe in the universe. It just means that I'm not so like as into it as you are where I can talk about it all the fucking time. That's it. That's just
But
what
to me,
that means.
it's just like funny. It's like you're acting as if it's like tennis, or like I'm so into
I'm
like
not acting
football
as
or
if it's
something.
tennis.
Like
I
it's
just
like
there are just certain things. No, you think that this is the only thing in life to talk about. And I think that's great that you think that. That's wonderful. But I just don't think that. I think that there's many different things in life to talk about. And so I like to talk about all those different
well,
things.
there you go. You
What?
used to say that I was the one that said always everything. Like
You were the one
but you break
at
it
one
down.
point.
Like there's a lot of things that you point out about me, like, oh, you're all about. I am not just all about numerology and Healy.
Wait,
Like
when did I say that?
you just said it right now. We should rewind.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that we're two different people. I like to talk about all different things.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about one thing all the time. That's just not who I am, and I'm okay with that, and I like that about myself. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I don't know what
And then I'm going to state what I'm trying to say, and then we'll just end it.
No, because
Why?
No.
Why?
You want to end because you want to have the last word and
Oh
you
my
want to
God.
end it on how
Everything's
you
always so competitive
you
to you.
want to end it how you want to end it.
No. What do you mean? Everybody heard what you just said.
Oh
So
my
I'm going
God.
to give my point of view,
You know what's
and
so
then we're
crazy
going
to
to
me
move
is
on to the
that
next topic.
everyone thinks that you're like, oh, like Joe's you are so manipulative,
Oh my God.
and I know you know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
You want to have the last word.
How is that manipulating anybody?
Because you're making it seem like, oh, okay, well, I'll just,
And then what? What am I getting?
and then we'll just stop. But what you're really saying is, oh, you know what? Okay, that's perfect because then I just get to have the last word, and then we'll just end it right there.
So you think I'm so deep?
And then
I
my
just
ego gets so big.
So is it ego, or is I'm so deep that I want the last word?
No, it's ego.
But don't you think, like, because I'm like so deep, and if I'm so manipulative, I'm like 10 layers above that. Like me just wanting to have the last word would be like the bottom layer. So you got to think deeper. You got to think deeper of the reason why I would want to do this. Like like is that you're so top level with like the reason why I would want to. Now, listen, it's got nothing to do with being first or last or whatever. I just thought, like, okay, you just said your thoughts on it, I'm gonna say my thoughts on it, and then we'll move on to the next topic. That's all. I could have gone first. I don't give a fuck. Now I don't even remember what the fuck we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
What was that? Oh yeah. So anyways, the all this stuff, it's, I think that's part of like a lot of humans' problems, right?
Sorry.
Is
I just had
that
this thought.
we're, you know, it's like not cool, or not, it's like too much or whatever to actually be so deeply self-aware of like how, like, I can feel my intestines. Like I know when something I ate like within 5 minutes is like going to not feel good within my body, or like I know if I move a certain way, you know, or if I know if I like think certain thoughts or whatever, it's going to affect my day. Like it's so deep, right? But like imagine if everybody did that, right?
Excuse
And
me.
I'm not saying that that's my way, but that's how it comes out. That's what everybody's like, oh, you know, like no, not everybody's like you. I'm like, it's not me. It's like fucking everybody should be like this in for your own benefit, not because I want you to be like me and do what I'm doing. It's like you're it's like our daughter. Our daughter, she will freaking not do things that like will, like, if she, what's an example of her doing something that's like hurting her, right? So like she'll what's an like if she doesn't, I don't know, I can't even think of a fucking example, but anyways, you're like hurting yourself. You're supposed to help me out there usually, but you're just like zoned out. But anyways, by somebody not being extremely deeply aware of themselves to the point of which I'm at, or anybody else who like understands themselves to the point where, you know, they figured all these things out over the years by themselves. Physically, they've like they're in tune with the universe, all this other shit. If you're not to that point, then you're doing yourself a disservice. That's all I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with me or what I want.
But
It's the truth. It's just the truth. You are doing yourself a disservice by not going as deep as possible. I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying
yeah,
people
I'm
in
like,
general.
I go deep
Yeah.
all the fucking
No. I'm
time with
not. I'm
myself.
sorry. Did I come off as?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
you
didn't mean.
no,
I
the
was just
whole
talking about
entire
people in
time
general.
you were
Like,
so the whole entire time. That's why I was like getting defensive for a second because you kept saying you,
oh,
and I'm like, what are you
you're the only
talking
one in the
about?
room. I'm fucking talking about everybody.
I'm like, are you serious? I have deep
Sorry,
conversations
I'm
with myself
talking to you
all the
guys.
time. I process stuff. Like, you wouldn't be with me if I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't like living any other way.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I was like, does he not know me?
Yeah, but you are, what you're drawing here are the differences of like levels, though, right? Like you're saying, Joe, I don't really want to go that far down that rabbit hole, but that rabbit hole is not my rabbit hole. It's like the universe's rabbit hole, and it's benefiting you to go down that rabbit hole if you do it.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
But I also believe that like you don't have to do that every single. I can't wait to bring this up with
Well,
Nancy
you
in
don't have to
couples
do.
therapy
Hold on,
because this is exactly a spitting image of what we've been talking
but
about with you. Because I don't think you have to do it at every single time there's a moment to do it. The only reason why I was saying wrap it up or trying to redirect you is because I did start talking about something, and I know you're saying that it's all intertwined, and I get that it is, but just for like so that I don't know, people could maybe also just understand a little bit more about what we're saying. I was trying to structure it and get back to like, because I do also know that you and I, and you specifically, we do go off on tangents. I already know that.
I'm fine with tangents.
Right. But sometimes we need to just reel back.
All right. Let's move on. What do you want to talk
That's
about?
it.
There
I
you
don't
go.
understand.
Jeez Louise. You'd be the worst guest on Joe Rogan for 3 hours.
I
You'd
wasn't
be like,
saying
hold
to
on. We were talking about this. Let's stop. And he's like, let's get high.
I wasn't saying to stop talking about the topic. It's a good topic. I was just saying to
I don't know what you're
stop
talking about, though.
talking about the Healy the whole entire fucking time. That's what I was saying. Like, okay, yes, the Healy, we got it. Yes, it's amazing. That's what it does. It's great. It's energy.
Oh my God. Let's talk some politics here. What do we got? There's a lot of things that happened today. There was something to do with Trump. Everybody's favorite person, Tucker Carlson, is now on Twitter. But this is, I was talking to you earlier, and this is what I was saying with Twitter is like, this is why we specifically started Twitter like a year ago because I saw all this like well, not a
Started
year.
Twitter? Started
Eh,
using Twitter?
using Twitter,
Okay.
yeah, maybe not a year ago. What was it, like 6 months ago or something?
I don't
But
know.
because I saw all this coming, and I do believe Twitter will be the truth platform. Not truth, just like a place where you can figure out the truth. Because it's so hard to do that nowadays.
I like the way you changed that.
Yeah. Yeah, a place where you can figure it out, because you know how you get to the truth? You have people that disagree, and you keep disagreeing, and then you say, "Oh, well, it's a little bit of this, there's a little bit of that. Actually, hold on, maybe." And then, or maybe one person is right and the other person is wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
how do you even fucking know until you guys talk to each other,
Yeah.
right? So I think that that's what they're
Yeah.
trying to build on there, and I love that. And I don't give a fuck who is doing it. Elon Musk, fucking anybody. If anybody was doing that, Joe Schmo from Idaho, if he bought fucking Twitter for 44 billion, I'd be like, all right, he's doing great things here. It doesn't matter that it's Elon Musk. That is exactly what the media is trying to do, is point it on one person and
Yeah.
like defame that person, and then everything that he's connected to is shitty. But everybody knows that's bullshit, because Tesla is amazing, fucking his SpaceX is amazing, his Boring Company is amazing.
His SpaceX is.
Yeah, he's fucking going to Mars,
I
that
feel like
motherfucker.
he just recently, one of his
Yeah, they blow up all the
rockets or
time. He says
something
that
blew
he's
up.
he's
Okay.
very honest about it. He's like,
Oh,
I've you shoot out a lot of fucking rockets and you test them, and if they don't fucking land properly, like, once again, this is how you figure it out, right? You fucking fail and then you try again. This is the same thing with communication and understanding what the truth is.
mm,
Like, I think it's this, no, it's this, and then you end up saying, oh, it actually is that. I quote unquote failed on my thought process of like what I thought was the truth. Thank you for having that conversation with me and disagreeing. You know, that's how it should be. That's how all communication should be. And this is the reason why freedom of speech is so important.
mm.
Broke that shit down.
Yeah, you did. I
um,
liked that.
and then our boy Trump, not a Trump supporter, just saying.
Liable. That's right. That's what
So
I wanted
Trump
to
is
look up.
liable of sexual
I was
assault.
just confused. I think I was just confused about how they worded that. For some reason, I was just like, why did they word it that way? And the word liable is messing me up. Right. Okay. So they found then
Potentially.
that he was responsible. Right. Responsible by law of the sexual abuse.
Yeah. So apparently, this girl, he's saying he doesn't know her or whatever, and apparently there was a night. The girl doesn't remember what year it was.
Wait, she
Apparently,
doesn't remember what.
yeah, which is kind of strange, I guess, right? Like,
Wait,
it's like,
hold on. So what happened? So he's saying that he doesn't know her at all?
yeah, yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's what he said. Uh, do, Fill me in right here. If there's a traumatic incident, because you would know best, right? If there's a traumatic incident in a person's life,
Mhm.
Does that person normally remember the date or the year? Is it like
Mm-mm.
no? It could be just like, oh shit, something happened. Freaking, I don't know. Remember how many years ago it was?
Yeah, especially if it's like
No, I'm
really
not talking about
trauma.
little kid shit. I'm talking about like if you're a young adult, you know, and some traumatic shit happened, you get raped or something like that. Do rape victims remember like, oh, it was,
No.
exactly where they were? They were just, no. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, some of them can tell you that they don't have much memory of what happened because the brain will completely
Just shut
the
down and
brain will
disconnect.
totally dissociate,
Hmm.
and totally disconnect.
Interesting.
Which is a protection.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
So there's something she's got going for her, I guess. If that's the truth, then, because like, I was thinking like this traumatic moment, it should be impactful. I thought you would like remember the date of when this shit happened, but then what you're saying makes sense. Um, so anyway, she says that, and apparently there's the dress that she was wearing that day, and
Okay.
she apparently still has it. And this was like fucking like 30 years ago
She
or some
still
shit.
has the dress.
Yeah,
Okay.
and apparently she never dry cleaned it or anything. It's just hanging there. She's never worn it again. Something
Wait,
like that.
what?
Yeah. But then, so then they asked her if like she would submit it as evidence, and she said no, right? But if this does exist, I mean, I guess they could force her to freaking whatever that's called when they make you present evidence. But I mean, Trump was willing to do like a blood test or something like that, or DNA test or something like that. So I think he should go ahead and do that, I guess.
This is so crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I might be like getting it a little hazy here, but that's the gist of what I've heard up on this.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So what's going to happen though is
She got awarded $5 million.
no.
Oh.
She did not get awarded that. That's what the verdict is, but that doesn't mean Trump can appeal.
Oh, right, which I'm sure he is.
And
right.
he definitely will, and it'll be something else. Or like, who knows? You know, if he ends up getting off it, the media won't even like publish it. They'll just leave all this shit out there, like Trump sexual assault, $5 million, whatever. You know.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? But whatever. I don't even think it's gonna like phase anything really. I mean, he's still running for president and shit. Like.
Anytime I see him, like a picture of him or like something, like see like something, like he's always just like, yeah, you know, just has that like,
day.
I can give a fuck about really.
I mean, you got to think about Trump, right? Like he's probably been dealing with like quote unquote sexual assault shit since he was like fucking 20 years old, because he's like, well, mostly probably because he's been a multi-millionaire at a young age, you know what I'm saying, and doing all kinds of things. I mean, there's all kinds of girls out there that are, I'm just saying, like he has experience with this type of thing like basically all of his life, so he's just like,
does he though? Do we know?
I would assume.
Have there been other
who knows?
Oh, okay.
Maybe those are the girls that he just paid off. I would assume so. He's probably got like the legal team is just like they've been doing the same shit for fucking years with different shit, and like you don't even hear about it really. You know,
it's so awful if that is the case.
I mean, who knows?
Gross.
I mean, I'm not saying that like he actually did this type of stuff, but I mean, like, all right, Drake, right? Drake probably has a whole lawyer team of fucking fighting off chicks that are accusing him of shit all the fucking time, like literally weekly.
Isn't it so crazy that like it's so blatant? Unless I'm just really my judgment, maybe I shouldn't be judging, and shame on me for judging, but like,
what's blatant?
Melania definitely married Trump
for his money. Sure.
And had kids with him and sex and all of that.
I don't know.
For
maybe he's clearly a funny guy. He's got some personality.
That's possible.
Yeah. Maybe he's manipulated her.
Oh, I feel bad saying that out loud, but it's like, 'cause I shouldn't judge, you know, like for all I know, they could be like really in love. It's just, you know, it's a hard one. You know why it's hard is really mostly because of the fucking media, social media, and everything put out about the two of them always insinuates that.
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, the couple's so happy and this and that. Everything you see in the media is like
scandal.
No, it's like Melania not holding Trump's hand at the, you know, like or like Melania's eye roll of like to the side, because they always catch her in some like shit, you know.
You know why? Because they're fucking real motherfuckers. You know the reason why like presidents have been like holding their wives' hands and stuff? It's all for like show. It's a big fucking show for these motherfuckers. Trump's like, I've been on a show. We're not doing that bullshit. We're not doing that. This is real life, you know? I don't know. I'm coming off as like a Trump supporter, and I apologize. I'm just saying, you know, he's entertaining, and I enjoy I enjoy it when he runs for president.
Oh, he's totally entertaining. I will say that.
Enjoy the process of watching it. Now, getting back to that, like, and then what's his name? Joe Biden is running for president too, which is it's like exploding my brain.
He made a comment to someone about because he was in an interview and they were pushing him again about certain things, and another thing was his age, and they were like, "So,
It's like
what do you think about like a lot of the comments or whatever kickback about your age and you running and stuff?" Oh, fuck, what did he say? It's in I have it.
Oh my god. But anyways, I mean, the guy does it. It's like, can you imagine Joe Biden and Trump in a debate, or even Joe Biden and Robert Kennedy Jr., who's a Democrat? Like, you know that they're trying to like not have Democratic debates as well. That's a thing as well. But anyways,
but they'll have a Republican. I'm confused.
Well, yeah, they're two different parties, but Democrats, I guess, they can do whatever they want. But I mean, why? Like, it's gonna be a shit show, of course. But I'm excited to watch it. You figured it out yet?
Oh my gosh, what happened? Did you read this?
What? Breaking news?
Well, DeSantis takes major step ahead of expected presidential bid. The governor's move in Florida is the clearest sign yet that he'll jump into the 2024 race soon.
What do you do?
Let's see. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis severed his connection to his long-standing state political committee and the tens of millions of dollars that it now controls, a step he needs to take ahead of a presidential campaign.
Ooh. Well, I don't know. What I do know is...
Hold on. The Republican governor is expected to jump into the race for president soon, and the move to rebrand his Florida political committee, called Friends of Ron DeSantis, is the most concrete sign so far that his candidacy is imminent. I don't know what's happening.
It's really just, I mean, as long as the presidential campaign is like a popularity contest, Trump is gonna win this shit. And not because I like Trump. It's just a fucking fact. The guy's charismatic. He's funny. He doesn't care. He's not scared to say shit. Like, and
people gets caught up in that stuff.
Because think of it, like him and Ron DeSantis, as far as like what their platform is and what they're like running on, it's essentially the same type of shit, right? The only difference is Trump's already been president and he's a fucking like charismatic, entertaining guy, which Ron DeSantis unfortunately is not. And once again, like I said, I would much rather have a Ron DeSantis than a Trump. But because it's a popularity contest, Trump's going to win that shit.
I mean, I'm going to be really interested to see how this this is so interesting. It's going to be, I mean,
it's going to be so, they might not even publicize. They might not even put it in the media, any debates. They might not, because it's going to be so not in their control because you got a Ron DeSantis running, because you got a Trump running, and because you got a Robert Kennedy Jr., who are all essentially have the same similar platforms, right? Maybe little tweaks here and there, but they're all like, anti vax, freaking, pro America, basically, where Joe Biden pretends to be pro America. And we'll see. Like, you'll be able to see through the fake bullshit, is what I'm saying, and they might not want to publicize that. So,
to be honest, though, I remember watching when it was, oh my god, Biden and Trump, and I feel like
that was so annoying. Yeah, that one time, turn it off. Yeah, the first debate,
we had to turn it off. Like, I couldn't even
he was interrupting too much.
Oh my god, like, we loved it in the beginning, and we were like, ha ha ha, cracking up, eating fucking snacks, just like popping popcorn, like, this is hysterical. And then it just got so bad that I was like, this is a wreck. They're screaming over each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Then one of them's like, loser, you know. So it just got so bad.
What they really need to do is, I mean, they should change up the whole platform. I mean, it's probably not going to happen this year, but like a real long debate, like a really long debate, 3 to 5 hours, you know, maybe even longer, fucking full day. Who gives a fuck? Or maybe put them both, do like an interview with both of them for hours and hours, and like just post that shit on YouTube or wherever, Spotify or wherever. And that's how you're actually going to really understand these people, not through a fucking debate. They're just going to fucking be talking shit.
Sure.
It's like a fucking shitty pageant.
That is true.
But speaking of Biden, and I know you wanted to get to this, was Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts on this? Like what's going on? Aaliyah's not really filled in with this, I guess.
I didn't really I don't really like know the whole story, but Biden was being interviewed, and so I was reading the interview, and then they pushed him again on his son and how people are worried that him running for president again is happening right around the time of this whole Hunter Biden thing really coming out, and all these things happen. And the stress of that and the toll that this is going to be on him, you know, as just a dad. And his response was like, there is no toll because he did nothing wrong and blah, blah, blah. And nothing's happened.
Yeah, I don't know where this laptop is right now, but I mean, that I would hope that Joe Biden lit that shit on fire or something.
I mean,
like, but so what did come out just recently, though, talking about the laptop and stuff, was during the last presidential debates, right? The Hunter Biden laptop came out. That's when it started, right? And he was like, no, that's already been decided by 51 authorized officials have signed this document stating that it was Russian disinformation and blah, 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 blah. He said it during a debate, right? And the 51 people, one of those people, or maybe a few of them now, have come forward in front of Congress and have said that they were pressured to sign a document stating everything that he said during that debate. So, and there's names of these people. I can't give them off the top of my head, but basically they were manipulating the debates, not the debates, but the outcome of the presidential election. Because imagine if you actually knew what was in that laptop, it could have swayed the elections, right?
yeah.
So now they're talking about campaign fucking manipulation, all this other shit. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that information is probably going to come out at some point.
Is his son still on drugs, or
who knows?
Right now,
I think the last thing I heard recently is something about his like baby mama. She gets like 20 grand a month or something. He's trying to and he's trying to like not give her that much now.
Where'd you hear this at?
Look it up. Hunter Biden's baby mama.
Jesus.
There we go. I don't even know how I stay up on all this stuff. Oh, is that what you want me to do?
No, I mean, I don't care about, like, wow, okay. I didn't know. Anyway, Joe Biden also doesn't care how old he is and says that he feels that he's already proven to everyone that he's well and that he's you know, getting shit done.
He has? I mean, he falls down every week.
That's what I was like, unless these videos are just obviously being maybe manipulated and, you know,
no, these are real
really
videos
it for what it is. Like,
it's all real. Yeah. So yeah, no, okay, great. I'm excited that he is running for president. It's like actually made it like so much more exciting.
Are you going back to DeSantis?
No, I'm talking about Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so excited that he's running. Like he just like now it's like this is gonna be amazing. Like there's no way he can keep up with those three guys that I mentioned: Robert Kennedy Jr., Ron DeSantis, and Trump. There's no way. Just like talking, even if they were just talking at like a fucking tea party about like sports, he couldn't keep up with them.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I do not know.
So that'd be fun. Tune in, guys. I think the first Republican debate, which will also be interesting with Ron DeSantis and Trump, if Ron DeSantis
Yeah, when's
even
all
runs.
this starting?
I believe that is
November?
was it that late? November? We
October?
looked it up before.
We did.
Republic debate 2023. Yeah, August.
Oh, in August?
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can have freaking grills and shit. You have a party at your house, watch some UFC after the fucking debate or some shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you tune in.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So good?
We're good. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. You know, as always, we got the QR code up there. We've been trying to post the video on Spotify, but we had some technical issues last time, so we'll have the video up again this time. And yeah, we're just we got a few more things we're doing. We're tweaking some stuff out. We're trying to pump out more videos. It's been tough the past few months. Sorry. Thank you for bearing with us. But we do have mother-in-law. Aaliyah's mother is coming to live with us in
Great, guys.
this summer. So just bear with us for the next few months, and we'll try and pump out as many as we can until then. But when that happens, then we will be back on the consistent, regular basis. And yeah, that'll be it.
All right. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.